previously on Quantum Break.
I'll take the laptop to the science department.
No, I think I'll do that myself.
Will built a way to stop the fracture. We're traveling to the past to retrieve it. You can help us get there faster. Woman approached me, told me she was from the future. Jack, that woman.
It was you.
This is it.
Hey, wait! Where is she?
I had no choice.
Beth? What happened to you?
I'm not wrong.
You can't.
No!
So, what you did next? It wasn't personal?
Time was broken, working out of sync. The city was in a state of chaos. The end of time was closing in.
And you still believed you could fix it?
The solution was inside Monarch Tower. A countermeasure.
The CFR, as Monarch knew it. The key to the lifeboat protocol. Monarch's survival plan. But that didn't seem to matter to you.
I had a better plan. Okay then.
Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Don Hayes, and this is Act 5 of Quantum Break. So without further ado, let's just jump straight in. Jeez, man.
Christ!
What guns have we got? Nothing, just this. Alright. That sounds like flashes. Oh, okay. How did he get behind me?
God.
Shit.
Where did they keep the camera? Shouldn't be too hard to find. It's the biggest damn building we're before.
Jack? I hope you can hear me.
Fiona? Is that you?
Yes. I wasn't sure if I could make this work. Listen, the CFR, it's not easy to reach, but you can access it from Fury's office. A friend of mine has unlocked the CFR chamber, but the rest of the place is still in lockdown. I think I could help you with that. Like this.
I guess you can.
Serene isn't in the building anymore, so maybe you don't have to run into him.
Welcome to the international headquarters of Monarch Solutions. This state-of-the-art building has become world famous for its unique architecture and its iconic presence in the Riverport skyline. Incorporating an unprecedented level of automation designed with both comfort and security in mind, complete with a zero-carbon footprint, the building provides a safe and environmentally friendly workplace for thousands of Monarch employees. Monarch Solutions. All we think about is the future.
Zero carbon footprint. Well, in that case, I'm sure you're all cool.
Doink. Let's go have a look, see what we can grab. I'm 1 point away. Interesting. Well, there's 2 more here, so that's good.
Mr. Hatch! I thought you... They said you're dead.
They are confused about a great many things. I have a little job for you.
But you're... I mean, I'm not sure I should...
You are still working for me.
Yes, of course. Whatever you say, Mr. Hatch.
Fear is a great motivator. $18 narrative points. Holy crap, how big is this place?
Buildings in lockdown.
Yeah, no shit, it's on lockdown. Oh, hang on.
Poor bastard doesn't know anything about the train crash. Hope he doesn't have a heart attack when time resumes.
Oh shit.
Thanks for the heads up.
Talking the heads up.
Right. Paul's office.
Monarch's radio node. Won't work in stutters. Radio waves get stuck, same as everything else. Use stutter-proof hardline terminals instead. Interesting. So from Luther Talbot to Pablo Torres. Hey Pablo, I think it's getting close. You better get your ass to a stutter-proof area. I still can't believe this is real, but you've seen what it's like out there. Half the world's going to shit. Just glad we're in here.
Alright, how am I getting to Paul's office?
Just glad we're in here. I don't know how it's all going to play out, but at least this way we get a chance. Maybe we can fix things later. I bet those science guys can work it out, right? And hey, if you see that Jack Joyce asshole, just run, dude, okay? I was talking to Clarice and I didn't realise this before. I thought he was just sneaky or lucky or something, but I saw some battle reports from the field and he's just a machine. Fucker just shoots his way through everything we throw his way. I know this place is safe, but I figure he'll show up sooner or later. I heard he's got some personal beef with Serene, so when he comes you better stay out of his way. Let the jarheads handle that, if they can. If Joyce is coming after Serene, he's gonna be pretty mad when he finds out the boss took a chopper out. You hear anything about that? What the fuck was that about? So it could get pretty ugly. See you when the dust clears, I guess. Stay safe, man. LT.
I really don't want to go on the side. It's just crazy.
So from
There's
Clarice...
no way for them to understand what's happening. Must be scary.
From Clarice to Monarch HQ, Chronon active personnel, shifter alert. Attention, the lifeboat security protocols are now in full effect. Our stutter proofing has failed and we have reports of shifters in the building. You all know the drill, we have trained for this. Do not approach shifters alone. Remember that they are not restricted by the physical space in the same way we are. Deploy dampeners and watch your backs. Work in teams, remember your tactics. Maintain your distance, don't take any unnecessary chances. Comms are unreliable due to stutters, so pass the word to others and take advantage of stutter collapses to communicate as effectively as you can. We are attempting to repair the stutter-proofing as quickly as possible, but be advised that contrary to our earlier timeline, which gave us years more to prepare, we believe we are now on the verge of final zero state, and every single stutter encounter is more and more likely to be the one that never ends. That means our priorities have changed. The lifeboat protocol is in full effect, and ensuring its success is our only objective. Whether the opposition is shifters, Jack Joyce, or anybody else. It's vital that we all remember our training. If we do things right, we will make it out of this, and we will make our way to the lifeboat. Good luck and make me proud.
What's going on here? Thought I'd run into organized resistance.
Monarch shifted gears. There's this survival program, and you're either in it or you're irrelevant. So everybody's just scrambling, and Serene's acting weird. Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's just waiting for it all to end. But you're gonna keep that from happening, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I was getting closer to the countermeasure. Paul had the key to fixing the fracture all along, but he didn't see it.
There was nothing to see. He believed the fracture couldn't be fixed. That's why he used the countermeasure, the CFR, to create the lifeboat.
Oh shit.
What the fuck is that?
That is a shifter, and we are fucked.
Damn.
Potentially.
Mr. Hatch, sir, I mean, if I deactivate the stutter-proofing system, won't that, if time stops again, then the building will be...
Let me worry about that.
It's just that I'm really not sure this is okay. Couldn't we just check with somebody?
Do I have to look up your home address?
No, sir. I'll do it.
See that you do.
What is Mr. Hatch's game? I still don't understand it. It's just...
Those men died fighting something that lives outside of time.
The very reason our weapons program was built. Serene knew they were coming.
Weapons weren't doing the trick.
From Paul to security team leads, Martin Hatch. Martin Hatch has been detained, and his authority over Monarch Solutions and its employees, along with his security clearance, has been rescinded even. I wanted a full security team watching him at all times. He is not to be given access to any computer systems or communications. Don't talk to him and don't allow him to talk to anybody. Lock him down and keep him locked down. If he attempts to escape, shoot to kill. I'll deal with him when I'm done with the present crisis. Alrighty.
Fiona, can you get this door open for me?
I think so. Sorry, this isn't quite my forte. I know a guy who would do this in his sleep, and he's about as dependable as... Oh, never mind, that's it. Be careful. They'll have company in there.
Gotta move. That's the last of them.
Are you shitting me? Okay, this ain't gonna go well. Oh, crap.
Is that all you got?
I got one of them. That's good. Are there any guns I can pick up? An assault rifle or something? Super handy. Even a tactical. There we go. No, that's a shotgun. That'll do. I'll give it a whirl.
Gotta get to the camp.
Nice. Well, that worked. Just about. Whoa.
You told me that Hatch had Paul's full support. I saw otherwise.
There was a temporary misunderstanding.
So from Vera to Alim Loudon, that creepy asshole's gone. Alim, did you hear that Hatch is out? I don't know exactly what went down, but Holden from Acquisition says Hatch did something to really piss off Serene. Maybe something that involved blowing something up on the island? I don't know. And frankly, I don't know if Holden did either. It all sounds pretty crazy even by Monarch standards. Anyway, Holden says Hatch got escorted out of his office by a whole bunch of armed security guards. I mean, that wasn't a security escort that wasn't a security will escort you out of the building situation. Holden says it was for real. So I guess that guy's done. Good riddance. Maybe now we can get on with some work. Get some work done without him Darth Vadering the crap out of us. The guy's always creeped me out. Oh, I had another thing too. You were right, Dr. Amaral came back. I wasn't sure Joyce would kill her, but nope, she made it back alive. Anyway, glad I was wrong about that one. She's cool, people. She picked a good time to come back too. Things are getting really bad outside. It's really starting to dawn on me that we're not really lucky to be in here, instead of stuck out there and all this craziness. They said there's planes coming down from the sky now. Crazy. Let me know if you're okay, Alan. V.
The Monarch PR machine was going strong. The public believed that they were doing what the police force couldn't. Protecting them from a terrorist threat. From...
you.
Monarch PR Protocol. PR Protocol. Monarch Solutions responds to tragedy. No public aggression. Coercion, manipulation, other violence. Contain, bury, spin everything. Friendly, safe authority. Control Mayor, Riverport PD. Monarch assisting the authorities. Deploy SEDMAC for media control. Remove Radford. Manufactured terrorist threat. Jack Joyce. Note, Jack Joyce should be a clear later addition on the board. Info. Warfare. See Charlie Winkoff for details. Flood social networks media site with new narrative. Drown out legitimate reports with flood of conflicting accounts. Paint troublemakers as bleeding heart extremists. Attain critical mass. Useful idiots will take over. Trolling. Oh, ammo. That's what I needed. But I didn't see that earlier. I think that's everything I can get from here, isn't it? Just check there's nothing... Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Cool. This is where the shifter was, right?
I'm trying to get to the Sky Bridge.
Skybridge. You're marketing right now. Okay. Yeah, I think I got it. Hey, Jeff, be careful. There's something really weird going on in this building.
Monarch was scrambling. Paul's empire was falling apart all around me. I'd never seen anything like it. But Paul had. That's what he was preparing for all those years. He didn't do a very good job.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I did take out most of his empire.
Holy shit.
I'm really not looking forward to coming across one of these shifters. Would be really nice if I didn't have to as well. Okay, reduce cooldown. Yeah, I think that's the one. From Bruce Livingstone to Sophia Amaral. About my screenplay, new video. Hey Sophia, still haven't heard from you about my screenplay. I know you're busy with all your work, but this really is taking off in a big way, so let's try to get it going on this, okay? I know this thing is going to be huge, so I just went ahead and mortgaged my house to make sure this thing is reality. It's my dream and I'm going to follow this dream. And once I get the Kickstarter going, this thing is going to pay me back the mortgage, so no problem. I already shot a short promo thing for the KS campaign. Let me know what you think. I'm going to star in it, but I've got a really cool part for you too if you want it. You'd be perfect for it. Also, like I said, I'm going to need that science feedback stuff soon. Let me know ASAP. Yeah, I don't know about mortgaging your house on that. That was random. Oh, I'm really hoping I don't come across one of these damn things. They look like they're just absolutely kidding shit.
They have a time machine here? Shit. This is where they brought the university core. This is Paul's machine. Looks like they have it on the top floor.
Monarch paperweight with note. Ensure personally that CFR chamber is secure. There's a screen here. Alright, from Bernard Piker to Paul Serena, confession. Sir, I know you won't have a chance to read this email until you return to the HQ, but I have turned this over in my head repeatedly and I see no other option than to let you know what I've done. I have deactivated the stutter-proofing at the building. I had maintenance access and I used it, but I want you to know I did it under the tremendous duress. Martin Hatch left me no choice. He threatened my family and I didn't know what else to do. I still don't. I know there are shifters out there. The stutter-proofing is gone and I don't have a chronon harness, so technically I'm safe. The shifters are only exist in stutters, and when one of those hits, I freeze just like the rest of the world, so whatever happens during the stutter, I'm safe, barring some kind of desynchronization related accident. What that means though is that there's that one I blink, I'm here, and the next one there's 2 dead strikers on the floor. Dead because of me. There's blood all over me from nowhere. I'm looking at them right now, typing this on my phone. I can smell the blood and, I don't know, ozone I guess? And smoke. Their gear sparking. They'd be alive if I hadn't. I'm sorry. I think I'm hyperventilating. I don't know if I can hold it together much longer. I don't know why Hatch wanted this to happen, but he did. I think he wants the CFR for some reason. You can't trust that fucker, sir. I know you're close, but I think he's as evil as they come. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm not making excuses. I know I fucked up. I don't know how to deal with this. I have always respected your drive and dedication. You have no idea. But I just don't have those things. I'm just an engineer. This is too much for me. If you come back and fix things, please look after my family. They didn't have anything to do with this. Bernard Riker, Senior Chronon Tech.
What the fuck was that thing? The train.
All personnel, stay clear of the lower levels. There's a possible hazard. Repeat, stay clear of the lower levels. There appears to be a train crashed into the building. The situation is under control. All personnel should remain in secure areas. There are intruders in the building. Repeat, remain in secured areas.
Where did that thing go? Shifter.
Another door I need help with, Fiona.
You're at Serene's office. Good. Just a second. This one's a little tricky. Serene's got access to the CFR chamber, and there's going to be a pretty dangerous guy there guarding. Got it. Just be careful, okay?
Paul was already gone, but he left behind the one thing I needed.
So, document, untyped note. I've left this message here for you to find so that soon, when the time comes and I ask you to choose, you can do so with your eyes open and with some hint of understanding. I have no secrets, and the only things I chose to omit are the ones that you, in your current limited state, would not be able to grasp, no matter how hard I tried to make you understand. I have walked down the same path you're on now, once from your perspective a long time ago, although time no longer has such meaning to me. I too came in contact with the time machine. In my case, it was not a man-made device, but a natural one, in a cave. It should come as no surprise, really, that such things exist, much like natural nuclear reactors do exist, such as the now defunct old ones at Oklo, Africa. After all, the Mayor Joyce field has its irregularities. I too became chronon active. I too developed chronon syndrome, and in time I lost control and became a shifter. Became at once everything and nothing, was everywhere and nowhere, died countless deaths and was still alive, my every probability, every possibility happening at once. I promised I would not lie, and thus I tell you, the noise and the pain and the rage that were more than anyone could suffer and not go insane. I burned in this fire for a long time. There was brief moments of awareness in this endless nightmare, different versions of certain key events in my life that I found myself reliving again and again, trying to make things right, like a puzzle, on and on and on. I am convinced that the stutters and the end of time saved me, for those were the only places, the only times where I could even briefly stop and rest, and slowly find focus and control again, and ultimately master this state, not emerge from it. Not to be cured, not to go back to what it was before. There is no such thing, but to learn to be in one place and everywhere at once. My perception is altered, like that of someone who has been a perceptual illusion and discovered that the picture is both a young girl and an old woman at the same time. Once you see them both, you can never not see them. We are such limited beings. We play with just one piece on just one square on an endless chessboard, just one life, one lifetime, and an infinite multiverse of possibilities. Am I an exception, the only one who has found this way to the other side? Or is this just a shifter's brief dream before a stutter collapses? There are other shifters, you know. Your best friend, who is now your mortal enemy, Dr. Kim. Others, some of whom you know. It doesn't matter who, because they are gone. And when they emerge, if they ever emerge, they will not be who they were. Just as I am not who I was before. I have done my part in helping you all achieve this state. If time is an ocean with a frozen surface, then the stutters and the end of time are holes in that ice, opportunities to come up for air. I have a plan. It's already in motion, but it would be futile to try and explain it to you, like trying to explain 3 dimensions to someone who can only see one. But make no mistake, I do not look down on you. I strive for humanity even as I shift this world from one state to another. I will make this possible. I stand in between. I don't see myself as a game. I remain humble. I'm something smaller. A hatch. That was confusing.
We have a mission. Prep the chopper.
Ready to lift off in 15, sir. What's the profile?
Full tactical complement. And we're going to need a tech squad for assembly. I'll brief them on the way.
Copy that. Good hunting, sir.
My office alarm went off. Is that you skulking around, Jack?
Fuck you. I'm done playing games. I'm here for what you stole.
Yes, of course.
The CFR. If you understood just how much depended on that, you'd leave it alone. But I know you don't care.
You're right. I don't. And it looks like you're not here to stop me.
Yes. Yes, everything will play out as it has to play out. I'll see you very soon, Jack.
So he's back at the library.
I'm done dancing your tune, you crazy bastard.
From Paul Serene to Clarice, final instructions. Clarice, as you know, I have a mission to embark on, so I'll try to be brief. I have initiated the lifeboat protocol over Martin's objections. Given how things have developed since then, I'm glad I did. I don't fully understand Martin's motives, but it's obvious he's moving against me, and against the entire survival plan itself. I know you have worked closely with him, and I know this must come as a shock. It's also alarming that in invading capture, Martin took out an entire security team for an unarmed man who's ostensibly not combat trained. That should be impossible. Obviously, this is highly alarming news. I don't know if he had help or if there's even more to Martin than we had come to suspect, but he's had free reign over this company for a long time, and he's extremely resourceful and persuasive. It's not clear to me who I can trust at this point, but I know I can depend on you. I trust that you will see things through in my absence and ensure the shutterproofing stays up. In particular, I would appreciate if you would ensure that Dr. Amaral stays safe in the lifeboat. She has been through a lot during the past 24 hours, and she still managed to make her way back to us and bring vital intel. Thank you for your loyal service, Clarice. It has always been appreciated. Paul.
That was just a couple of minutes between stutters.
The countermeasure was Paul's prize. Everything he built was based on Will's device. His plan depended on it. You better believe I look forward to taking it from him.
Only one of Serene's treatments survived the explosion. His time was running out.
So was everybody else's.
There's another one here. Lovely. So from Sophia to Paul, time machine core. Paul, don't worry about it. We're on schedule. Your time machine core from the university has been transported to the HQ and it's currently being installed into the new time machine frame we built for it. You'll have direct access to it from the CFR chamber as requested. And no, before you ask, you can't actually access the CFR chamber from the time machine. The elevator can only be activated from within the chamber, so no one working on the machine can get to the CFR. I thought you'd appreciate that layer of added security. I know how important it is to keep the CFR safe. Anyway, I know you don't actually intend to use the time machine, but should you ever need it, all we have to do is deploy the corridor. It's actually all hooked up now, but we're still running some final diagnostics. The tech should be ready with it before the gala's over. Dr. Sophia Amaral, Head of Research. So to Sophia from Paul. Sophia, please update me on the progress with the time machine core relocation. Where are we with this? Thank you. To Paul from Sophia. Paul, yes, of course. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to add to your burden, and I know these are hard decisions. You can count on us to proceed as planned. I know you're exceptionally busy now, that the time is almost upon us, but I was hoping you'd have time for dinner. Dr. Sophia Amaral. Sophia, I understand why you would feel that way, but this isn't something I can take lightly. It's my experience that time travel only complicates things, and while my own trip through time has given us great opportunities, it's also set me on this path. I want to control it, not use it. That said, I want to have the machine ready for use for emergencies. My foreknowledge of future events will end very soon, and it might prove to be useful to have the option of obtaining more detailed information from the future. Obviously, given the furthest you could go back in the machine's activation at the university, visiting the past seems fairly useless. Also, ensure that the machine is heavily guarded at all times. Nobody is allowed to operate the machine besides myself, and I want the corridor to remain undeployed unless I give specific orders to the contrary. As for the Joyce brothers, I intend to give William the option of joining us if possible, but I know him. He's a very stubborn and unstable man, and I don't know if we could ever trust him. I don't need to remind you that he built in that ridiculous little workshop with very limited resource device that broke the local physics at Ground Zero and caused my Chronon syndrome. I don't intend to give him a chance to show us what else he can do if he decides that we're a target. That, along with the visions I've seen, there are certain sentimental reasons that make me wish I could let William live, but I doubt that he makes it possible for us. As for Jack, I'm not too worried about him. It took me a long time to master my abilities, so Jack shouldn't be a major problem unless he manages to use stutters to escape the area. Luckily, stutters should be very rare in these early stages of the fracture. Still, I've come too far to take any chances. I prefer to take him alive, but nothing can be allowed to put our plan at risk. I'm sorry to have to involve you in something like this. I know it's not what you signed up for, and as far as I said, I don't expect you to be personally involved with that part of the operation in any way. I'm not particularly happy about this part myself, and I wish I had better options, but our circumstances are as they are, and I have come too far to falter now. I hope you understand. Paul, we have now finalised the plans for acquiring and transporting the time machine core from the university lab. Your instructions are quite clear. We won't actually move in until your younger self has entered the machine, and the men will try to take the Joyces alive, with the understanding that Jack Joyce in particular could be a threat, and neither can be allowed to escape under any circumstances. I'm still quite uncomfortable with all this, Paul. I understand your reasoning, and I know the stakes are high, but I don't want to see anybody hurt. It's antithetical to my role as a scientist, and I wish you'd reconsider. Surely there has to be a better way to resolve this. Moral implications aside, the loss of Dr. Joyce's expertise alone would be a great blow. If everything goes smoothly and quietly, we will transport the core directly to the Monarch Tower via ground route. If there's commotion and it seems there's any risk of detection, we will instead airlift the core out to our dry docks operation, and then move it discreetly from there to the HQ. The construction of the new time machine frame at the top of the Monarch Tower has been finished since last year. Once we have received the core, it will be installed into the time machine per your orders. I know you don't intend to use it, but even with the limitations the nature of time travel imposes on us, I have to say it seems like a great waste not to take advantage of such a resource, both from a strategic and a scientific point of view. Dr. Sophia Amaral, Head of Research.
Paul spent a long time running Monarch in secret. probably didn't help with that whole disconnected from reality thing.
Reflections on the end. I wish my memories about the end of time were clearer, but it was anything but a clear time in my life, and the world was such a jumble, a frozen mess of different timelines crashing together. I was running for my life the whole time, trying to avoid the shifters, not an ideal state of mind for gathering intel. And it didn't help that she kept chasing me, trying to kill me, Beth Wilder, one of my own people. It was her all along, even then trapped in the end of time. As little as I understood about what was going on, I could tell she wasn't like me. She didn't have the powers I did. I knew she had some kind of technology that kept her going in that suspended hell. Of course, I had no idea it was a device I would eventually have my people develop. I suppose I should appreciate the irony that it was her chronon harness, my own chronon harness, that gave me the idea for the lifeboat protocol. The idea that our technology could let humanity survive in the end of time. I suppose I have to thank her for that. And she paid for her sins in the end, but she left her mark on me. I know the time to pay for mine is approaching quickly, but not just yet. Back then, when Wilder and I played our game of cat and mouse at the end of time, if I'd had an ounce of the control over my powers that I do now, things would have turned out very differently between the two of us. She was strong and had the training, and I was young and weak and scared. Even so, my abilities gave me an edge. I was lucky she didn't have the full striker gear. She was the only one with the upper hand. I didn't learn to properly control my abilities until much later. In those days, they were unpredictable and operated on instinct. Control didn't come easy. I can't help but be aware that this doesn't seem to be the case for Jack. His mastery is growing by leaps and bounds. Is it just because that's the way he's always been? Fast on his feet, bold and adaptive? Or is the fracture affecting him too? I thought we could contain him. It's cost us dearly. It's not a mistake I will make again. Wow, that's a lot of info.
"17 years, he lived through twice. All of it mapped out, from memory.
He knew the market trends before they occurred. He had the tools to make a fortune, and he did.
He was miles out in terms of the end of time, though, prediction. By 5 years.
Paul told me that he tried to change things. Failed. What he'd seen, it broke him. And I'd seen Beth go down the same path, but Paul... it consumed him.
From Sophia Amaral to Paul Serene, Quantum Ripple Research Unit. Paul, Martin, I know you've both been arguing about the Quantum Ripple Causality Research Subdivision has great potential, and we should keep it funded. I must once again implore you to reconsider. I'll be the first one to admit that the technology is impressive. The fact that Doctors Morphin and Rangers can actually track the consequences rippling out from minor shifts within the Mayor Joyce field is incredible, and the level of informational detail they managed to obtain is amazing. But here's the thing. They've been at this for 2 years now, and they have not produced a single useful result. Yes, we can trace the actual events from their small inception point to the actual consequences, very much in keeping with the basic chaos theory concept of the butterfly flapping its wings. But, well, so what? Every single thing that happens in the universe is a result of a chain of events. Being able to see the chain offers no real insight to anything due to the very randomness of the process. Furthermore, it's utterly misleading. You could say that some tiny event or tiny decision in my life yesterday led me to writing this email, and that's technically true. But so did some tiny event or tiny decision in my life 15 years ago. It's all a chain. The event yesterday didn't take place in a vacuum. It didn't come out of nowhere. So what's the point? We have no control of it, we don't get to direct it, and we get no useful information out of it. Also, have you actually seen the reports they generate? From a technological point of view, the way they manage to automate their analysts of the fluctuation signatures within the Mele choice field is impressive, but again, it's all meaningless babble with no practical applications. Their personal remarks on the reports are even worse. With all due respect to Ron and Terry, their indisputable technical expertise, I don't know what they're doing, and I'm not sure they do either. It's like they're coming up with stuff at random. The above outlines my concerns as to the futility of the entire process, and I suspect that may not be enough to sway you, but I have one final point, which I think you should consider very, very carefully. The entire program is an unforgivable waste of Monarch resources. I don't mean money, although the entire quantum ripple causality approach subdivision is costing us millions and millions of dollars. But that doesn't really matter, because I know we can afford that. However, there's a more vital resource they're consuming. Each time they fire up their rig to delve into the Mele choice field, they use up a huge amount of chronon particles. These are finite resource, and as you know, we are projecting that the ground zero's yield will rapidly diminish as the fractures take hold, which will happen very soon. You may not understand what the real impact of this is, so let me put it into you in practical terms. Every single time they detect and analyse a quantum ripple, it costs us a week of potential lifeboat runtime. Minimum. Given Monarch's primary purpose and the total lack of useful results, I believe that's a luxury we cannot afford. I recommend shutting them down immediately, or at the latest during our next reorg. We can't allocate their resources, we can reallocate their resources to something useful and put Ron and Terry's expertise into great use designing the lifeboat. I'm sure we wouldn't regret putting them to work on that, given their track record of working with Proto-Tech. Sophia Amaral, Head of Research.
Dr. Amaral was the one thing keeping Paul alive, but reading through their exchanges, there was something more than professional going on.
That's not my place to comment on.
Personal note, Dr. Sophia Amaral, October 9th, 2016. I find myself at a loss. We knew that the fracture would alive. It was clear very quickly that the process was occurring much faster than Paul's projections. His experience had led us to believe. That was alarming in itself, but there's another concern with the fracture. Paul's condition seems to be accelerating rapidly. I don't know what to do about either one of these issues. I haven't had a chance to examine Paul properly, and of course he won't consent to any real tests at this point. He won't take the time, not with the situation being as critical as it is. He has to prepare for the gala, to take care of every little stupid thing Martin trots out for him. He won't think of himself at all, and I'm afraid that will cost us dearly. So I don't know, I'm just speculating, but I believe this acceleration is a reaction to the stutters in time, in zero state. His wave function is further disrupted by the excessive chronon energies within his body. Before the university incident, before the fracture, the condition was progressive but controllable. The lack of stutters helped keep it in check. Now it's a progress. It's rampant, and I worry that it may reach a critical point soon. We always knew that was a possibility, but all of our projections assumed we would have years. Time enough to come up with a cure, or a way to stop its progress. Which means there's a very real chance that in the near future, Paul's condition overtakes him, and if he becomes a shifter, I don't know what to do about it. We haven't been able to help Dr. Kim. I don't know what we could do for Paul. I don't know what to do. The treatments are still working, but they take a toll on him, and their effect is greatly diminished. I'm concerned we may hit a point where he's forced to use them so often that the treatment becomes worse than the condition itself. And yet, I don't see any other options. He will not rest. He insists on doing so much. I know he chafes him under his dependence on the treatments. He seems to seize it as a weakness. I'm afraid I may lose him.
Paul was a powerful man, the leader of an empire. But behind the veil, he was a dying man. The signs were clear.
Just one of you. keep me from the CFR. You don't look like you're in any shape for this.
Emily.
Have it your way. Fucking things.
Oh, right, and damps, that's what. Nothing there.
Don't do it, man. Just stay down.
Fuck you. I've got too much writing on this. You're not going anywhere.
Seeing that face put it into perspective. They were all misled, manipulated to believing they were doing what was right, what was necessary.
Liam Burke made his choice.
Liam Burke was an unnecessary casualty, one of way too many. The lifeboat revolved around the countermeasure. He knew Will would try to take it back. That's why he was killed. He knew I'd try to do the same eventually.
Clearly, he was right.
From Lauren McStevenson, read me right now, CFR procedures to lifeboat maintenance. People, because there seems to be a certain lack of clarity about when it's appropriate for someone to enter the CFR chamber and mess with the chronon field regulator, and because I just had to fire Kevin Janeway because he did the exact thing. Let me remind you of the approved CFR procedure. You do not touch the CFR, period. I may touch the CFR because I'm the lead technician in charge of it. Dr. Sophia Amaral may touch the CFR because she's our head research, and she knows what she's doing. Mr. Paul Serene may touch the CFR because he's Paul fucking Serene, and it's his CFR. Nobody else touches the CFR. On occasion, some enormously lucky individuals who have been personally trained by me and are proven to be very, very dependable and incredibly good at their jobs, who don't have a track record of trying to enter the CFR chamber like paint-huffing imbeciles because they just want to take a closer look at it, and who have remembered to bribe the lead technician in charge of the CFR with Tom Waite's ticket, may be given written instructions to perform specific procedures on the CFR. That would be a great honour and a sign of a significant degree of trust, and those people should be accorded all professional respect and an appropriate degree of brown-nosing and or passive-aggressive displays of envy by their peers. Or to put it another way, you do not touch the fucking CFR unless you want to join Kevin, the how to stop being an arrogant dumb shit who jeopardised the only hope of a future for the entire human race because his main-splaining ass thought that the CFR really needed was a random dude who knew better. Self-improvement course down at the unemployment office, which I'm sure is where we all believe he was escorted by those armed men. There are no exceptions for this. The entire lifeboat protocol depends on the CFR being present, properly connected and functioning normally. You do not want to jeopardise this. This is bigger than any of us, and we are not here to fuck around. Lauren McStevenson, lead CFR tech. She seems like a barrel of laughs.
They'd stockpiled all the chronon particles from ground zero to keep the lifeboat running.
Enough to hopefully last until a proper solution was discovered.
From Sophia Amaral, chronon particle stockpile update to lifeboat maintenance. Everyone, please be advised that we are now at a point where lifeboat activation may occur. Accordingly, I have ensured that preparations are underway for activation. As part of that, what chronon particle stores still remain at ground zero harvesting operation are being moved to headquarters and placed into the master chronon particle repository, ready to be placed under the CFR's control. Please be aware that what we have managed to accumulate until this point is very likely to be all the chronon particles we ever have access to. Due to the fracture's effects on the Mele-Joyce field, the ground zero anomaly is showing definite signs of weakening. As a result, the chronon particle yield decreases drastically and will soon drop to baseline. While we obviously continue more traditional chronon particle harvesting operations in order to maximize our stockpile, we all need to recognize that sourcing them outside of the ground zero condition is extremely inefficient. Or, in plain terms, unless we find another source of chronon particles, and I don't believe we will, what we have now is all we will ever have. Please be aware that all use of chronon technology eats into our limited resources, and while we of course recognise that we need to have our strikers and other soldiers operate in stutters, each operation undertaken will eat away at a stockpile, and in very real terms cost us days of lifeboat runtime. Accordingly, we have to plan all use of this technology closely and choose our battles carefully. That said, we should also realise the ongoing situation with Jack Joyce constitutes an emergency and will most likely require unconventional chronon particle investment. Just the same, we should all be aware of the cost. I expect to see the projected chronon particle consumption rates for the foreseeable future and simulations of how long our stockpiles will last, adjusted for all scenarios we have discussed. See our last meeting minutes in our next Monday meeting. Sophia Amaral.
Fiona, by the CFR chamber. Door's locked.
That's way above my access level. But, since my friend disabled security earlier, I should be able to do this. Listen, I don't really know what the plan is, but it's all up to you now. Good luck.
It was like walking into a shrine. This was their holy relic.
There'd been some kind of struggle in the chamber. I didn't know the details. Somebody cleaned it up.
A man named Charlie Wincott. I believe he chose to take a stand. Unfortunately, it ended badly for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems to be that kind of work environment.
Personal notes on the CFR, January 5th, Dr. Henry Kim. This thing feels like a conundrum wrapped in a puzzle. It's an incredible piece of technology and I feel like we're only scratching the surface of what it can do. And we have already learned so much. I thought I had a good understanding of the intricacies of chronon particles and their practical applications before. Now I realise I've still got a great deal to learn. The chronon field regulator, as I've decided to call it, is a little miracle. How such a small device can do so much is beyond me. I know it traps into the Mele-Joyce field, but I don't know how. My experiments just show it can do it. It can also manipulate the field. I wish I knew how. Still, the mechanics of its operation gives me ideas. New avenues of thought I've been trying to find for such a long time. The task that I've been set by Mr. Serene has, frankly, stumped me for years. Knowing that what we observe as the passage of time is just a result of chronon particles being constantly generated within the Mele-Joyce field is a simple fact that I've been aware of for so long. But being able to manipulate those particles in a meaningful way, well, that's another question. The mechanics of this situation are clear, almost frustratingly so. In a zero-straight environment, there are no chronon particles, and thus time is frozen. The idea of artificially flooding an area with chronon particles to enable the passage of time is an obvious solution, but actually finding a way to do that, that's something else. Not only are chronon particles incredibly difficult to source, so obtaining enough to actually stutter-proof an area for any time longer than a fraction of a second has always seemed impossible. Perhaps even more importantly, the mechanism of manipulating the particles in a way that would actually allow me to define a certain volume of space as stutter-proofed has constantly eluded me. Well, Ground Zero has solved the former problem for us. We're almost up and running and very soon we will have the ability to harvest chronon particles at useful rates. We'll be able to build a truly formidable stockpile of them in the years to come. As for the latter problem, manipulating the chronon particles, that seems to be something the CFR does with ease. Its ability to tap into the Mele-Joyce field and affect changes in its topology is exactly what I need. Unfortunately, I don't know how it does it. I don't have a clue, and I don't know how to effectively control these effects. But my research into the practical effects of the operation has given me ideas for a different kind of chronon technology that works on a somewhat similar principle, except instead of snapping into the Mayor Joyce field, it generates a similar localized field of its own, an artificial chronon particle field and within that field we can manipulate chronon particles at will. This means that we should be able to create a stutter-proofing technology allowing us to shield a certain area from the effects of zero state, and I believe I'll be able to miniaturize the technology to allow it for personalized devices with the same effect. Almost like an environmental suit of sorts, with the harness the user would wear to create a chronon field around his body. There are still many challenges here, one of which is that any significant volume of stutter-proof space will incur an unacceptably high drain on chronon particles, which are decidedly limited resource. Obviously, with the lifeboat protocol requiring a large stutter-proofed area that we can maintain for years, quite possibly decades, this is a critical issue we have to solve, and Mr. Serene has made that quite clear to me. Frankly, even with Mr. Hatch backing me, the thought of disappointing Serene over this makes me quite anxious. I understand his concerns and they are of course entirely founded, but the man's intensity is unnerving. In any case, I'm hopeful that I will figure out this problem soon. I'm hoping to be able to use the CFR itself to regulate the flow of chronon particles. Given its nature, I suspect it might be eminently suitable for such a role in the lifeboat project and cut down our chronon consumption rate by a great margin. My control over the CFR is limited, but this seems to be a very basic functionality for it, so I'm optimistic that I can do it. I'm still looking into it, one thing at a time. We've already made great progress, and I will say that Mr. Serene's been quite complimentary with these successes, so I think he'll give us the time we need. Well, it's not like he has a lot of choice in the matter. I'll be honest, the CFR is becoming a bit of an obsession for me. I wish I could sit down and have that conversation and just ask those questions. How did he build it? What is it actually for? But I've been denied that opportunity. A part of me wants to open the CFR to get to the bottom of it, but potential consequences terrify me. We've already seen what it can do if unleashed. Even worse, there's the possibility that I couldn't put it back together, and just the idea of making a mistake, that is a positively bowel-liquefying thought. Having to explain that to Mr. Serene, no thank you. So, as it is, I have only dared to open up a bit of the casing just to get a rough idea of some of the engineering inside. It's amazing work, and it has certainly been a lesson in humility for me. I still have a lot to learn, but I'm a very fast learner, and this has to be one of the most important work anyone has ever engaged in the history of humanity. If we succeeded in our mission, the world would not soon forget the name of Dr. Henry Kim. And here's the last piece. Okay, Charles Wincott. Data Samurai. Oh no, there's one more. Question is where? Dang it. I think I'm literally one piece of info short. Well, RIP to that.
It took 11 years for Will to build the countermeasure. Beth died for it, and I knew it could fix the fracture.
This fucking thing.
Problem was, I didn't have a clue how to use it. The only person who did was dead. But Monarch had a way of getting to him before that ever happened.
The university time machine. We've got the core here.
Monarch had built their own time machine above the CFR chamber. That's where I needed to go.
You still believed you could go back and save your brother?
Yes.
Paul took the core of the time machine from the university, hooked it up to his own machine. It was part of his sick desire for control. But that gave me one last shot at fixing things. I could go back. Maybe get to Will before Paul killed him. And if I could get the countermeasure in Will's hands, maybe I could still turn everything around.
Aha! Oh no.
Core was set, the machine was prepped. I had to put the core door in place.
There's probably one document somewhere. Kind of want to find it. Or not. Oh, what's that? Alright, maybe not. I must have walked past it somewhere on the lines.
Okay, this should do it.
Deploying the corridor. Phase 1 underway. Please clear all personnel from the operation.
Oh shit! Yeah, okay, now this one.
Of course.
Oh boy, these little shits. Yeah, it's definitely a bad pistol. Oh shit! Oh, hang on. Whoa, 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 wow, wow.
Oh, come on.
Shit.
Finally. Jesus. You serious? It's fine, let's go.
Oh shit, still sniper up there.
Gotta move.
Sniper's a problem. Oh, nice. Well, that's good. Oh shit, okay, there's a few. Shit. Oh, okay. Peekaboo nerd. Alright. Oh. Whoa. Sound about. And then big guy. Let's go. Can't even eat it, Tim.
Corridor deployment confirmed. Corridor now ready for insertion. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, you're welcome, you very slow machine lady.
The machine was ready. I just needed to put in the date.
Let's go get some ammo first. Seems that basically depleted everything. Where do I put the date in?
The earliest I could go back to was the time that the core was first activated. At the university.
Not much time to rescue your brother.
I didn't have a choice.
You better be as advertised.
Well, we know who else is at the university, right? So I wonder if this is all part of an elaborate plan or something, or a ruse.
Targets have escaped the lab.
What's up, fellas?
Oh shit!
What's up, fellas?
HQ, we've got an intruder in the lab. Core extraction team is down, over.
All of them? How? Joyce's...
We're moving in.
Open fire. But avoid damage to the core at all costs. Do that. Over.
Who is this guy?
Bulletproof lab, bitch.
I got there after the fracture initiated. Too late to stop it all before it ever started.
But not too late to save Will. All you had to do was get to him in time.
Yeah, that was the plan.
HQ, we've got security footage of the Joyce brothers escaping through the server room on the lower level.
Raider Team 3, intercept immediately. Ready another extraction unit to remove the core.
God damn, Paul. What is this?
Deja vu, huh?
Okay, gotta get to the library.
Prowler Team, ready the heavies in the underground parking. I'm not hearing any response from Raider Team 3. We may have a situation.
Have to talk to Will before it's too late.
We were supposed to have the core loaded in that chopper by now.
Hatch was right. Should have sent Liam Burke in first to deal with those Joyce assholes.
Directive was take alive if possible. Alive ain't Burke's calling card. Seriously, where's that goddamn extraction team?
Kick him in the head. Shit, alright. Oh man, I've actually stuck. No. Okay, that's bad. shitload of recoil, man.
Take the other side!
I remembered that Will and I were heading to the courtyard when the stutter hit. That's where I needed to cut him off.
Courtyard. How do I get there?
You never tried to stop Monarch from extracting the core.
The fact that they stole it was the only reason I was able to return to the past. It's not a logic I wanted to mess around with.
It's a good shout. Actually, where am I going? Oh, the vehicle. Makes sense, I suppose. Oh, that's not. What? Oh, yeah. Hey, yoink. Right, where next? Did we get to go? Ah, I see. I see. I see where we're going. Oh, shit. Give me the ammo, baby.
Underground parking. It's gotta be the fastest way there.
Okay, I see. Ooh, that was pretty close, actually. What? How the hell? Okay. Right, that might not have been so good. Shit on it. Alright. There's a few too many to take on at once.
gotta move.
Oh, that big guy is a problem.
Oh.
What the fuck? Oh, it's a dude there. Oh shit!
When Will and I had escaped from the lab after the experiment, it seemed like Monarch was dealing with somebody other than us. That was me, all along.
HQ, Striker team is down. It's Joyce.
Raider 9, what do you mean Striker team is down? How many?
All of them.
Look at how we underestimated him. Take him out, whatever it takes.
Shit. Right, this guy's a problem. He's there. Oh shit! Whoa, 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 whoa! I thought I killed him. Oh. Wow. Genuinely thought I killed him. Alright, got him.
Son of a... HQ, we spotted Jack Joyce in the student lounge.
Bandit 4, that shouldn't be possible. I'm getting reports of gunfire in the underground parking. Are you sure it's Joyce? I need visual confirmation.
Didn't expect two of me, did you? Okay, how do I get this up?
Burke, the hell are you doing down here?
I need the gate pass code. They need me.
Fuck if I know. Let's go see Wade.
Probably because I'm not rocking those old pants. Hatch's orders.
Alright, so I'm in a bit of a goose chase here, am I? Wait, what? Ah, okay, I see. I see.
Gate control. I don't have the code.
What?
Burke, the hell are you doing?
I need the gate passcode. They need me up there.
Fuck if I know.
Gotta round up the witnesses.
How come you get all the fun?
Probably because I'm not. All right.
665. Okay.
Get your team prepped for combat.
Cool. Don't know how I missed that last time, but this is what it is.
I'm not done with you yet.
Paul Serene's focus article, Riverport University Employee Highlight. Paul Serene, Project Director. With a track record of extremely profitable business ventures behind him, Paul Serene joined Riverport University in 2010 to have one of the most significant physics research projects the university has ever seen. He is the youngest project director in the history of our university, and by far the most successful today. Oh yeah, you already read this. You read this at the start of the game. Like, literally right at the start. Where the shit? Oh, there. Cool. Cool.
Alright, picked up this beast to the campus power. Last time he counted. There he is!
Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
Damn it. Blocking my powers. Looks like it's plugged in somewhere else. No time to lose. I gotta get to Will. Yeah, this isn't good.
Door's still barred. Whoever's here ain't left yet.
How the fuck did Joyce take out those strikers?
He's obviously not alone. My bet is there's at least 5 of them working together. So keep your eyes peeled.
It's a dream.
Stay sharp!
How is he still alive?
Take down!
Jesus. He takes
Okay,
punishment,
gotta
man.
get to the library.
Right, okay, Gucci. Warning.
Electricians, you are not too late.
Damn the plugged into power grid. Wait, forgot to the goddamn battery again. Do not disconnect. Well done, Wade.
No time to lose. I gotta get to Will. Shit. Too late. I gotta beat him to the library.
Oh.
I got orders to patrol the rooftops.
We already got men up there.
And they want more. Take it up with Serene if you disagree.
Oh, I see. Thanks for the heads up. I guess so. Oh, that's how I saved I guess I saved myself. Interesting.
This is Airlift Prime. We've got the Time Machine Core in transit.
Oh, Beth saved me. Interesting.
Beth.
Deja vu.
HQ, we've got William Joyce in the library. Awaiting orders. Over.
Gotta move, Jack.
Roger. Keep a skeleton crew and wait for arrival of Monarch Actual. Everybody else needs to reunite at the Dry Docks Cronin extraction grounds. Wait for further orders there. Library is set to blow in 5 minutes.
We're not getting any response from the sniper unit. Investigating the rooftops as we speak.
Keep me posted.
There she blows.
Hey. There we go.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
The whole sniper unit's wiped. No way he did that on his own. We need to find out who's unaccounted for. This might be an inside job. Let's start a list of who's missing.
What was that? I think I heard something. Search the area.
Oh my lord, look how many there are. Shit the bed.
It's him! Joyce is on the rooftop! Negative! He's in the library! We're under fire!
Joyce, right? Where is he? We need answers! Where the hell is Joyce?
Providing sniper cover. Move in.
Oh shit, look at that. My bad. Didn't check my ammo. Oh, one of them things again. Bugger.
Another tech down!
Shit, no way he's still alive. Oh my lord. He actually is. Well, this was the only thing that took him out last time, so... Shit.
Heavy advancing!
Bloody hell. Oh, he's got a shotgun, okay.
Backup in the library! Stat!
HQ, this is Monarch Actual. Cancel that order, I'm on my way. I'll deal with Jack personally.
You heard him. Stand down.
Hold on, Will. I'm almost there.
hello. Oh, he's out my range. Shit. Oh, hell yeah.
We'll find him.
Done. Fuck my life. Well, it's hitting him. It's just 6 seconds. Oh fuck! Another one. Shit me. Shit me. This dude.
This is Monarch Actual. Approaching library rear entrance.
Oh no, no. Gotta get down there.
Stand by to detonate the library. I'm going in.
Fuck. Will? Already gone. Lobby. Lobby, I'm running out of time. Will.
There is. That's why I can't risk you a public. Trigger. I never wanted this. Jack. You saved me.
Welcome back. Hey, Will. Here's a present.
Countermeasure. How? Oh, Jack.
Will! Come on! Come on, let's go. Monarch had it the whole time. Does it work?
Came back from the future. For me. Fracture wasn't fixed.
Not yet. Does it work?
Theory, yes. We gotta get back to my time machine. Gotta get us back to the time where you came from.
No.
Future.
No.
It's the only way.
We need to stop the fracture here, in this time. Now.
Oh, Jack, listen to me. The fracture wasn't fixed in the time where you came from. So fixing it here, it's always gonna fail.
People are going to die, Will. You haven't seen what happens between now and then.
No, but you have. What you have done has set in motion a chain of events that cannot be broken.
Look, we don't know.
And if it could be broken, it could jeopardize the entire world. We get one shot at this. There's too much at stake, Jack.
Look, I know the stakes, okay?
And you gotta let go, Jack. Everything you have done to get to this place is necessary. Trust me. The past is set, but the future isn't. Right? We gotta go. This way.
If what you said is true, then how did I save you? I saw you die, Will.
Think, Jack. You never physically saw me die, did you?
I watched a roof
collapse on top of you.
Creating the illusion of my death, yes. Which brought you here to make sure it remained only an illusion. It's all a loop. If time is an egg,
No egg metaphors.
Alright, let's go. At least we
have to get out of here and get to the Bradbury.
managed to save Will, that's good. This game is intense. I actually don't know what's going to happen here. Oh, hello. What's this?
The Bradbury. That's the old swimming pool where
I know what it is.
What did that do?
Oh, get down. Over here.
Goddamn bloodbath in there. I need some air.
Cleaners better get here quick.
Wait for them to leave. Now, I know it's a lot to take in, but the fact that you managed to save me and yet still maintain the illusion of my death is actually further proof of my point. The past remains intact.
Stick to the plan.
Nothing changes, and the Novikov self-consistency principle prevails.
Oh, great. We can high-five about that later.
Right. Let's save the world first.
Come on, let's meet up with the convoy.
Sweet. No bloodshed in this encounter.
Okay, they're gone. Let's go.
Surprised you actually waited. It's almost like you're listening to me.
Well, the last time I didn't listen to you, the fracture occurred. Consider me open to following orders.
That doesn't sound like my brother.
I know.
Well, figured I'd choose the other path this time.
All right, through here.
Hey,
you can't risk helping them.
I know what happens if I don't.
And it'll still happen, Jack. I meant what I said back there. And there are no exceptions. If you get suckered into trying to change what can't be changed, it may cost us everything. Please, Jack. Our future depends on this. You said Monarch had the countermeasure this whole time. How? Why?
Paul was using it to fuel some kind of messed up survival program.
They must have somehow repurposed it as a localized Chronon field regulator.
Huh. Sense of deja vu here.
I always assumed it was Beth Wilder who had the countermeasure, keeping it safe. She was the one who warned me, told me to build it.
I know.
You met her. Is she helping us?
She was.
Ah, I see.
Do you? Do you see she's dead?
This place isn't safe.
Definitely something over here. Oh, it's probably out there.
Oh shit, watch out. Well, hey. Go this way now.
Damn. Final moments. Kind of sounds like it's summarizing to an end. I must say, this series has been epic. I really enjoyed this game so far. It's been quite the journey, I must say. And I'm looking forward to seeing what actually happens at the end.
Look, I know I've kept you in the dark. But when I started my work, you were so young, and afterwards, I always hoped it would all pass you by without touching you.
Yeah. I get it. Come on. Let's just go to the future and fix this mess.
One of two, huh? Alright, so we need to return back in time to whence I came.
Here's the entrance.
Think you forget, Will, we've been here
there
a few times before.
It's locked.
You hid the machine here. You really never used it yourself?
No, I didn't dare. Not after the men came out. It was Paul. He tried to kill me.
There's definitely some stuff up here. Check out.
Damn. Rusted shut. Jack, a hand?
Let's go.
One more time.
Sweet.
When Monarch came for the time machine at the university, Paul was trapped in it. He escaped into the future. Whatever happened to him there changed him.
Somehow he found my machine there and used it to come back to 1999.
And founded Monarch. He escaped from Monarch and became what he escaped from.
Insanity. I never should have built the machine. I should have left well enough alone.
The stutters are gonna get worse, fast. And there's something in them.
What do you mean?
I can't even describe it. It was this guy that I've seen, but living distortion.
I'd love to see one.
Believe me, you wouldn't.
So I'm assuming he's referring to the shifter.
Just the way I left it. Hope it still works.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to the future. A little after your time of departure. Before the fracture has stopped time permanently. I don't know. I'm a little concerned about this.
It'll be dangerous.
Of course it'll be dangerous. At this point, what isn't? But I have been curious to try this. This is what it looks like.
It's funny that he invented this and never used it.
Hey, Jack. When we exit, it'll be a little past the point you were at when you left to save me. That's our window. And we know it can work. Before time actually ends for good.
It may not be much of a window. Monarch was sure it was imminent.
Huh. Like they're experts.
They kind of are.
All they know they stole from me. You worry about your end. I'll worry about mine.
All right, Will. That works.
This is amazing. All those years. I never...
crap. Hang on, Will.
So we got two guys there.
Will, I need to get him moving. We don't have time for this.
Alrighty. It's doesn't look like there's even anything to do outside of this, so let's... There's quite a lot of weapons though. See if there's anything here that we can health. It's going to be useful. LMG, yeah, why not? Full auto shotgun, huh? It's a new one. Screw it. Let's go for that. Might as well try some new weapons. Unless there's a carbine anywhere, in which case I'll have that. I don't know why there are so many weapons. It seems odd. Alright, let's go free will. Or unfreeze will, I should say.
Better not, Jack. I don't know how Will managed to get here, but forget it.
This is bigger than the two of us. You know time's about to stop for good.
Yes, it is. Hence the lifeboat program.
A bunch of desperate people sitting around in a bunker somewhere waiting for the inevitable? Jesus, Paul.
You stole the CFR, Jack.
I stole it?
And the plan depends on it. So... I'll take that back now, please.
I can't do that.
I know.
Oh boy. I guess shit's about to hit the fan now, right? One down. Whoa, what the hell is that?
Not good.
Doesn't sound good. Whatever that is, it does not sound good. I'm just running and hoping for the best. Shit. Right. Okay, that just happened.
It's vulnerable now.
Holy crap, that's insane. I guess it was inevitable for these two to like fight at some point. It's bound to happen. It's basically just a matter of time. As is everything in this game, I suppose. It's a matter of time. Oh. Alright. So I actually think I've got a hang of that thing. I think as far as like the sound cue, like it's there. From there. Oh shit. Oh god, mine is stuck in this charge. Again. now. That's good. No. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh shit. That's not good. Alright, this thing is like really painful. Jesus. Woo. I am just running for my life right now. There's a dude down here as well. Is there another one? Oh, there's a dude there. Jesus, man.
Great.
Everything's on cooldown. Tap you shit. Oh, this is absolutely nuts. It's absolutely nuts, I tell you. Where is he? I heard him. Oh, shit. Oh, that's not good. Straight into the ball. Another one. This is really bad.
Agreed.
This is actually nuts. This is so not good. Oh my god. Oh god, I need ammo so bad. That's a bad time to do that. Shit. This is so freaking nuts. That's not good. Well, the only place I was safe last time was here. So let's hope I'm safe here as well. Fuck! Oh my Jesus God. This is actually nuts. Oh shit, there's another one? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I did not see that coming. What the fuck? Oh my god, are you shitting me? What? This is fucking nuts. Jesus Christ, man.
It's vulnerable now. Hey, Will, hey. It's okay. Jack.
What?
Never mind. Tell me later. We got work to do. I'll have to hook up the countermeasure to the core. It's designed to hypersaturate the Maya Joyce field with chronon particles. Time machine's like an amplifier. That'll cause a chain reaction and rejuvenate the field. It'll be a universal event.
I'll take your word for it. Just make it happen.
Jack, give me a hand with this.
Jesus Christ, that was tough. Alright. This should be a little easier, I hope.
The countermeasure's charge is low. We'll need a jolt of chronon particles. A jump start. That's you. Don't stop.
Hurry up! It's working. It's like I'm pushing against the entire goddamn universe. I got it!
The countermeasure. It stitched time back together everywhere. The destruction couldn't be undone. The lives we lost were real. But we fixed it.
Jack.
Will.
Clocks kept on ticking.
Come on. Come on. I think we just saved the universe.
Yeah. Where's Paul?
He's dead. He's gone. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Will, he was wrong about everything.
Was he?
Will. The countermeasure worked.
Whoa. Countermeasure burned out. The Maya Joyce field should be stable now. Of course, I'll have to run a few tests to confirm. But there's no reason to believe that the fracture isn't over. Whoa.
One more question. Paul Serene's entire philosophy was that time is a set path, and nothing can be changed. At the time, you obviously disagreed. But after everything you've seen and done, we need to know. What do you believe now? Was he right? Or is it possible to change things?
I'll come back for you.
You've been very patient with us, and very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, well, that patience is starting to wear pretty thin.
Of course. Right outside.
Mr. Joyce.
Finally. Thought you wanted to talk, not get my life story.
Well, you were at the heart of all of this. And you can understand our need to find out exactly what happened.
I heard it's all being pinned on Paul. It's quite the feat.
Paul Serene always danced to his own tune, you know that. He and his delusions did tremendous damage to Monarch. But we can still salvage this company. We could use a man like you. It's not the same Monarch you know, Mr. Joyce. Your exceptional qualities are obvious, and we both know you have certain needs our expertise could help with. We can help each other.
What is Bloody hell. Wow. Alrighty. Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Quantum Break. And what an epic series it's been. At least in my eyes, I thought it was incredible. So guys, I'd really like to know your thoughts on this series. If you liked the story, the action, what your favourite bits are, what your not so favourite parts were. And yeah, I mean, for me, that game was incredible. I love the sci-fi, and I like the fact that a storyline like that gets you to think, and that for me is it's quite an achievement to sort of question reality, I suppose. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for me. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and indeed series. If you did, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'd love to know your thoughts. And as always, guys, until next time, peace.